been the assistant administrator, but she could not get the reports that was required because she had not been shown. And there's nobody that's going to be here to show this person that we're going to hire how to do accounting, or to do the fund accounting. And I being the chairman, and she will be working under my direction and all, I feel like that we need someone with at least 5 years fund accounting. The other two things, you know, it doesn't matter, but I do feel like that the salary range to get someone with this kind of, I think the salary range is a good salary range. I think the job description is a good job description. And I've only talked to one person in the courthouse that's even said they would be interested in the job. So,
Jack, help me with the comments you made on item 3. So, I'd assumed that the county administrator is like a department head, and if I am remembering correctly, what we do today with department heads is they select and send us a recommendation, and then we either approve it or reject it. So, so I interpret number 3 as working pretty much the same way it works for other department heads. Am I wrong?
I didn't see it that way, but I'm not saying you're wrong. That's, you know.
Okay. So, but you tell me again exactly what was it you wanted that one changed to?
Took out and selects, because I think when they, I'm sure they make a recommendation, but I think it should come down to us because they're working in our office.
Okay, so would you be satisfied with interview and recommend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no problem with that.
Because that's what we do with the other department heads.
Is that what you want to put in?
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Okay. I agree with that. Sir?
Well, I was trying to figure out, since I haven't finished all my training yet, I'm still a novice at this, I'm trying to figure out, so we have a...
Well, once the debate is over, discussion is over, then if you want to amend your motion to include the changes, you have that option. To amend the motion that you've already made to include the changes that Mr. Allen has made, and if anybody else makes any recommendation. If you don't, then it stands as moved, and they would have to vote on it as originally proposed. And then if somebody else wants to make another motion to approve as changed, then you can do that. So that's where you are, if that helps.
So I can modify my motion?
Yes, sir. You can amend your motion to include the changes that Mr. Allen has requested, if you so choose.
Well, I think we all agree we need to get somebody hired. So I would make a motion to modify my motion to make the modifications as discussed.
Okay.
did I hear a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm not pleased with that. I want to go on record. I'm not pleased. Because I know what a mess we're in there. And this new business, I would like to say before we get down and start on the new business, I would like to say that number E that Mr. Allen removed is a motion to approve hiring of Daryl Brider as a temporary slinger with temporary pay. Solid waste is in the red. Solid waste needs some help. I've gotten 4 telephone calls today where they're not picking up garbage because there are 2 people behind. This boy was going to replace Chris Allen, who is off from being hurt on the job. The second motion was to hire Chris Miller as a slinger. This has been up. There's 2 of the commissioners that sit in on the interview. They've gotten 10 applications. The boy was interviewed in the first 5. I told Randy Webster to send the boy a recommendation because he told me when Jack wasn't around that he would recommend Chris Miller. And I told him to send that over. They need help. The second one is the motion to approve placing the Jackson County Solid Waste Department under supervision of County Engineer Brian Rosenboom. In the Public Works Department, there was a law, and when Brian first came here, I left him in here where solid waste was supposed to have been under Public Works. And I think if you all will come to your next meetings, I think you'll see why this was taken off of today's meeting. So please come to the next meetings and see what follows from that. New business. Motion to approve the resignation of Dr. Grundy Doodad, whatever.
Miranda.
Whatever, thank you. From the Marshall Jackson Mental Health Board. He's been there for several years, and he's moving out of town. Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I make the motion to be removed from the board.
Do I hear a second?
I second it.
The motion on the floor is first and second. Is there any discussion? No? How did we vote? All in favor? All opposed? Motion to approve the Marshall Jackson Mental Health Board recommendation to appoint Barbara Cordes to replace that doctor on the board. Do I hear a motion?
Dr. Dode's either way.
Thank you. I grew up in Hollywood.
I did too, but I know.
Do I hear a motion to accept Ms. Cordes?
Who is Barbara Cordes?
She teaches school.
Dexter Cordes' wife.
Fine lady.
Yes, yeah, I'll make that motion. She is a nice lady.
I'll second it.
Do we have any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion to approve and put in motion a resolution from the state of Alabama to set the 2009 sales tax holiday for August the 7th through the 9th. 7th? Is that 7th and 9th or 7th through the 9th? Okay. 7th, 8th, and 9th.
7 through the 9.
I'd like to ask, I'm going to ask Mr. Porter for that. Haven't we also set just the state sales tax or the county sales tax? How have we done that in the past before? You remember?
My recollection, Mr. Allen, and please don't hold me to this, we can go back in the minutes, as I recall, the commission voted to, whenever the state adopted a sales tax holiday, that it would automatically be adopted by the commission. So that, and in the past there have been some time frame problems in having to, as I remember the first year we had to have a special meeting on the 4th of July.
Right.
To approve it because of the time frames, and so my recollection is that there was a motion made and approved to adopt the sales tax holiday for the state and also apply it to the county.
I think so
That may
too,
be
but
wrong.
the reason I'm saying, I know, remember we were writing 2 school boards and they wrote us a letter, concurring with it, that they had no problem with, because they the one losing the tax dollars.
The next one, did we get a vote on that?
No, have we,
We get a-
have you talked to the superintendent on that?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay.
Did we get a motion on that?
Yeah.
We have a motion.
I'm gonna make a motion, we adopt that pending, both school system superintendents agree to it. That way we don't cause them no financial hardship. They have in the past each time. I know we got one of the board members sitting here, but we usually get a letter from them before we concur. So I'll make